February has brought important updates about Portugal, from major news on the Golden Visa to an earthquake that shook Lisbon and nearby regions. We're back with our monthly update to keep you informed. Hola, and welcome to Remote Life Portugal. Whether you're living here, planning to move, or just curious, we've got the latest updates on visas, housing, taxes, and more. Make sure to watch until the end, because some of these updates might directly affect your plans for Portugal. Also, this video is sponsored by SafetyWing, an excellent option for expats and travelers looking for reliable health insurance. But more on that later. Stick around, especially if you want to know how to avoid costly medical surprises while living abroad. Now, let's get into it. One of the most important announcements for those planning to invest or move to Portugal was the news that IMA, the Agency for Integration, Migration, and Asylum of Portugal, is speeding up the Golden Visa application process. What you should expect with this is that applications for this type of visa become much more agile and solve a critical problem. This can be a game changer for investors and expats who want a smoother, faster, and more efficient way to secure their residency in Portugal. The improvements in processing times mean fewer bureaucratic hurdles, allowing applicants to focus on planning their future in this vibrant country. But before we move on, let's quickly recap. The Golden Visa is a program that grants a residence permit to those looking to invest in Portugal. The requirements are much simpler than those for other types of visas. If you have money to invest, you should know everything about the Golden Visa. In fact, this visa has been controversial, as many have criticized it over the years, blaming it for the rising cost of living. However, the government remains interested in attracting investors to boost the country's development, making this an opportunity for those looking to establish roots in Europe. So, the biggest question is, who can apply for the Golden Visa? One of the criteria is that applicants must spend at least 7 days per year in Portugal, which isn't exactly a tough requirement considering the country's pleasant climate, stunning beaches, and world-renowned cuisine. And no, you didn't hear wrong. There are only 7 days throughout the year. Portugal is the 7th safest country in the world, according to the Global Peace Index. And no, we're not saying that Portugal is perfect. You will encounter some challenges that can be really frustrating, and we address all of these in our videos. So, be sure to like this video and subscribe to show us that you enjoy these news and insights. Now, back to the Golden Visa requirements. Spending 7 days a year in the country is not the only criterion for being entitled to a Golden Visa. After much debate last year, the government restructured the requirements for this type of visa. Now, non-EU citizens must create at least 10 jobs in Portugal or transfer a minimum of 250,000 euros in capital or investment funds to the country. For entrepreneurs, the Golden Visa presents a unique opportunity to not only secure residency in Portugal, but also to contribute to the country's economy and job market. This win-win situation could be the inspiration you need to expand your business into Europe and thrive in a business-friendly environment. In recent times, Portugal has been one of the most attractive countries for obtaining a Golden Visa, at least in Europe. Beyond the beaches, food, and lifestyle, the cost of living is still incredibly low compared to other parts of Europe. Plus, some countries like Spain have already announced they will stop issuing Golden Visas, reducing the options for those seeking a country with a great climate and promising growth prospects. With Portugal keeping the Golden Visa alive and improving its processing, now is the perfect time to act. After finishing the video, take a look at the description to find out how to contact us to help you. Now, let's get back to the original good news. AIMA's February announcement shows a new digital system is being implemented. This system will automatically schedule biometric appointments between 30 and 90 days after candidates submit their Golden Visa applications on the agency's platform. Another good news is that you will no longer need to translate documents already in English, Spanish, or French, as IMA will now accept them in these languages. This change simplifies the process and reduces costs for applicants, making Portugal an even more appealing destination for global investors. We don't know whether this change will work or not, as IMA is not recognized for its efficiency. Another point is that Portugal does not invest in digitalizing its bureaucratic processes. So let's see how this happens. If you meet the golden visa criteria and feel overwhelmed by the process, don't worry. We offer specialized consulting services to guide you through every step, providing the support and reassurance you need to make your move to Portugal a success. Thinking about moving to Portugal? Then you also need to keep an eye on the cost of living and housing prices. Since 2021, the country has been facing a serious housing crisis, as in many other countries, with rent prices skyrocketing while the minimum wage doesn't increase simultaneously. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for making an informed decision about your move. Proper planning will help you avoid unnecessary expenses and ensure a smooth transition to your new home. Even with a 9% price increase in 2024, February brought some good news. For the first time in 18 months, mortgage interest rates in Portugal dropped below 4%. This was widely celebrated and happened mainly due to a decrease in Euribor rates. The last time the rate fell below 4% was a long time ago, in July 2023. As a result, mortgage payments have become slightly more affordable, giving buyers a much-needed financial break. Also, for new mortgage contracts signed between November 2024 and January 2025, the average monthly installment dropped by about 32 euros, which is another positive development. Despite this, the government and real estate market experts believe that there will not be a more significant drop in interest rates until at least 2026. However, finding a place to live in Portugal isn't easy if you're unfamiliar with the local market, as many people are competing for good properties. Right now, renting a 3-bedroom T3 apartment in central Lisbon can cost at least 1,500 euros. In smaller cities near the capital, like Sintra and Torres Vedras, prices may drop to around 1,000 euros. With these rising costs, having a solid plan in place is essential to avoid overpaying. The good news is that most of these cities have excellent rail connections to Lisbon center, making them attractive for commuters. By car or train, you can be in the center of the capital in 20 minutes. However, choosing the right area and finding a home with the right infrastructure for you and your family is important, and we know that. That's where we can help. With our expertise, you can shorten your home search from 2 months to just 2 weeks. Reach out to us for tailored advice and assistance. Let's make your transition to Portugal as smooth as possible. Find the link in the description. Now, let's talk about healthcare updates, as some significant changes are coming, and I think you should know them. Let's break it down. Until now, Portugal's National Health Service, SNS, has provided healthcare services to all foreigners in the country, even those in irregular situations. However, a new law approved by Parliament has excluded undocumented immigrants from access to SNS services. This proposal came from Chega, a political party advocating for stricter immigration policies. The law aims to help the SNS regain its reputation for excellence, as it has faced some challenges over the past year. So, if you are living in Portugal without proper documentation and need healthcare, you won't have free access and will have to pay for emergency services. It's still unclear when the law will take effect, but it's essential to stay informed or even secure appropriate travel insurance or health insurance if necessary. But what if you suddenly get sick or injured while abroad? Let's say you're exploring Portugal's stunning coastline, hiking in Madeira, or simply enjoying a quiet afternoon in Lisbon, and boom, you trip and break your ankle. Or worse, you wake up with intense pain and need immediate medical attention. Would you know where to go? Would you be able to afford it? Even if you're in a country with public health care, being uninsured could mean long wait times, unexpected medical bills, or even denial of treatment in private hospitals. And if you're traveling or living in different countries throughout the year, having reliable global health coverage isn't just a convenience, it's a necessity. That's why this video is sponsored by SafetyWing, a travel and expat health insurance provider designed specifically for people like you. Whether you're a digital nomad, an expat, or just someone who travels frequently, SafetyWing offers affordable, flexible, and worldwide coverage. Here's why it's worth considering. Medical coverage anywhere. Whether you're in Portugal, Spain, Thailand, or Mexico, you'll be covered for emergencies, hospital visits, and even unexpected surgeries. COVID-19 and emergency evacuations. If you need medical care for COVID-19 or require emergency transport to a better hospital, SafetyWing has your back. Flexible and affordable. Their plans start at just a few dollars per day, and you can sign up even after you've already left your home country. Peace of mind. No more worrying about how to pay for a doctor's visit or whether a hospital will accept you. SafetyWing takes care of it. If you don't have health insurance while abroad, you're taking a huge risk. Don't wait until something happens. Check out SafetyWing today and find the best plan for your needs. You'll find the link in the description. Now, let's talk about how Portugal is also a fantastic place to enjoy life. With winter ending in late March and spring slowly emerging, temperatures are becoming more pleasant. In fact, Portugal is a top choice for those looking to escape extreme cold. The combination of great weather, cultural richness, and modern infrastructure makes it an ideal place to live and invest. In March, temperatures typically range from 8 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. If you're looking for warmer weather, the best choice is the southern region, where the stunning Algarve beaches are located and the heat arrives earlier. In the north, above Porto, temperatures are milder and there is more rainfall. Lisbon, the country's capital, is famously known for having 300 days of sunshine per year, pretty tempting for visitors and residents alike. Spring's arrival and the approach of summer also mean a packed cultural calendar across the country in the coming months. Some events even attract visitors from all over the world. One of the highlights is music. The countdown to Nossa Live 2025 has already begun, and new confirmations are expected to be announced in March. The music festival, taking place from July 10th to 12th in Lisbon, has already confirmed artists and bands like Olivia Rodrigo, Benson Boone, and Noah Kahan. Another festival happening soon is Meo Marés Vivas on July 18th to 20th in Vila Nova de Gaia, near Porto. Confirmed acts include 30 Seconds to Mars, Scorpions, and the Brazilian Pedro Sampaio. Now there's something not so fun that we need to talk about. Earthquake. February also brought new earthquakes to Portugal. The tremor hit the outskirts of Lisbon, with its epicenter in Costa de Caparica, and had a magnitude of 4.7 on the Richter scale, according to the Euro-Mediterranean Seismological Center. The earthquake caused no casualties or destruction, but was enough to scare residents and tourists. In Lisbon, thousands of people reported feeling the tremor, recalling the earthquake in August last year, which had a magnitude of 5.4. Following this event, several smaller earthquakes were recorded. February 19th, a 3.3 magnitude earthquake occurred near Angra do Heroísmo in the Azores at 9:06 p.m. local time. February 27th, a 3.5 magnitude earthquake was detected in the Azores Cabo de São Vicente region at 8:20 p.m. February 28th, a 3.4 magnitude earthquake struck the Azores Islands region at 4:56 a.m. UTC. Portugal has a concerning history when it comes to earthquakes. In 1775, the Great Lisbon earthquake was considered the largest ever recorded in Europe. At the time, there were no precise measurements, but estimates suggest a magnitude of 8.7. Records indicate between 20,000 and 30,000 fatalities in 1755, though some sources claim the number could have reached 100,000. Given that a tsunami and fire followed the earthquake. In 1969, another major earthquake with a magnitude of 7.9 struck Portugal, though it was far from the coast. Should you be worried? Experts say no. Modern buildings are designed to withstand earthquakes and even tsunamis. However, many buildings in the country, especially in Lisbon, are more than 200 years old and have not been adapted to this type of situation. If you want to learn more, visit the Quake Museum in Lisbon. This museum recreates the 1755 earthquake through a sensory experience that combines science, history, and entertainment. An excellent attraction for the whole family. There, you can feel the tremor simulation and even experience the smell of the fire that followed. Besides being a cultural attraction, Quake is a place to understand earthquakes and learn what to do in such an event. The best part? The museum is located in Belém, near many other interesting Lisbon landmarks. Quick question. Have you seen our video in which we interviewed locals about what they consider to be the ideal salary for a comfortable life in Portugal? It has just appeared on your screen. Click now to hear their answers, and I'll see you there. Ciao.